Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and hopefully you caught the entire roll back here. If not, I'll play it again for you. No, I'm just kidding, it's starting to play right now. Thank you everybody for joining me for another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, reviews, and answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, Chris, what is your knee-jerk reaction now that you've been using the Windows 10 technical preview, the latest one that they updated the other day for the people who are on the Insiders program? What do you think? What do you think about this on your Surface Pro 3? I think they still have a long way to go, but it is a UX improvement over Windows 8, a dramatic UX improvement. That's probably the most positive thing I can say about Windows 10 right now. And I may be going into it as this day wears on, but I am trying it, that is for sure. Just wrapped up a Q&A with you and me video talking about the HoloLens and how I am excited to see that and to try it for the first time. It's one of the first Microsoft products that I've wanted to own, because as much as it may look like if you wore one of those things, you'd look like a nerd, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with wearing a nerd helmet, around the house at least. I don't know if I'd want to wear that in public, though. I don't think the HoloLens was designed for that, unlike Google Glass. Thank you, everybody, for joining me during this live broadcast, Geek Lifestyles, long-form geeky content. I hope you're still subscribed to the classic YouTube channel, Chris Pirillo, the one that you likely discovered me through originally. We're producing the short-form, edited CPU episodes over there. We've got content flying all over the place, and it's all for you. Thanks in large part to the patrons for helping make that possible. Got a lot of news to cover today. Including mentioning the fact that I have tried Windows 10 now, personally, or at least seen it. My plan is, with Windows 10, over the next week or so, to kind of give you a more fleshed out experience. Not exactly a play-by-play, but my thoughts on where they are and where they need to go before it's shipped. It's definitely not ready. I don't think it's ready. I don't think I saw anything that would keep it from being adopted by the masses, but it's got a long way to go. I also want to record a video with my dad using Windows 10 for the first time, this time, on a Surface Pro 3 tablet. He is somewhat familiar with Windows 8. He's somewhat familiar with the paradigm that Microsoft is trying to push down, so I am definitely not expecting that video to accrue 2 million hits like the time that he first used Windows 8 through Parallels on a virtual desktop on an iMac. So we're going to do it anyway. So expect to see more content, more information about Windows 10. And for anybody who would accuse me of just, you're always, slamming Windows. Oh, you must have missed my tweets about iOS 8.1.3 available today and OS 10.10.2. Neither one of them have eliminated the bugs that I'm running into. At which point I wonder, is Apple even fixing anything? I think they're just rolling out new numbers. Here's a new number. Well, I know, I see a change log, but I'm like, these were some bugs I might have run into? Like some esoteric, now can, read your notes in Croatian. Because I needed that feature fixed. I don't know, I'm throwing that out there. I'm not saying Apple fixed that or it was a bug. So yes, you should update, if only for security reasons, on the desktop or your mobile devices if you're running iOS. I'll continue with a few deals that we've got on our radar, as well as the news here, after letting you know that CITRIX Go to Assist is one of our sponsors again. They offer a secure, cloud-based solution for IT and customer support professionals to provide live and unattended remote support to their employees or customers working from any computer or mobile device. For a 30-day free trial, visit gotoassist.com. That's all you got to do. Gotoassist.com. Type it in if you want, or even tap the link we'll put for you in the description for this particular piece of media, whether you're watching it on YouTube as a live video or as a live video. We've got 2 other live videos to do today after this one. We've got the Patron Hangout and then the public Vlogger Hangout. That's for everybody to tune into. That'll be taking place in the new Pirillo Vlogs YouTube channel, which of course I assume you've already subscribed to as well. The deals. Here's the deal. The deals. It is Thomas Crapper Day. So we found some awesome things to help you celebrate Thomas Crapper Day, including, I was getting there, Jedi, camouflage toilet paper, a mug that looks like a toilet bowl. It's kind of fun there. You can drink out of. I don't know what your coffee tastes like, but if you don't make it like I do, it's probably tasting like something you would normally drink out of a regular toilet. That's just a complete guess. Obviously, I'm not trying to throw down. I'm not dropping the mic. Just saying that, it's very rare when I meet someone who can make coffee that my taste buds appreciate. So, happy Thomas Crapper Day, everybody. Let's hope that this particular piece of content does not belong there, and we keep it, next to the tissue paper or something. I don't know, even that sounded bad. We've posted a link to LockerGnome.com where we've got a roundup of ways to celebrate Thomas Crapper Day in case you wanted a way to celebrate it. We've also got a iDrive 1 terabyte hard drive and 10 terabyte iCloud. I'm sorry, not iCloud, regular cloud. This is not iCloud. It's iDrive. Completely different company. We've got a bundle for you, 79% off. So you can pay full price or get 79% off. The choice is up to you at deals.lockergnome.com. We have a giveaway, a 3D projector giveaway. This is free, obviously, a giveaway. One of you is going to get this at deals.lockergnome.com. The 3D projector, not to be confused with Microsoft HoloLens at all. The Neutron S phone and tablet mount, so this is a tablet and phone mount, is now 16% off. So if you're looking for a tablet or phone mount, take a look at this one. It may suit you. It may fit the bill. And if so, well, you get 16% off that bill at deals.lockergnome.com. Apple is in the news as well. I've kind of covered Microsoft there just very, very, very briefly. But before I get into the news that I know I wanted to cover in today's broadcast, Apple has come out and reported first quarter results. They sold a record 74.5 million, not billion, million iPhones in Q1. That's a 46% year-over-year increase. 21.4 million iPads, 21% decrease. This being reported through VentureBeat. It's also alleged that Apple Watch will start shipping in April. Apple went further to announce that they sold over 1 billion iOS devices, not to be confused with Macs running OS X. And allegedly, iPhone 6 and 6 Plus brought in more Android switchers and new customers compared to previous models. That's very interesting indeed. And overall, according to Mac Rumors, Apple's reported an $18 billion, that's B, $billion profit. Wow. On record, 74.6 billion revenue for Q1 2015. 2015. A gross margin of 39.9%. Wow. I mean, that's not even a number that I can even fathom. I can barely count past 10. I'm not a numbers guy at all. But the maths definitely stack up right there. I'd say congratulations to Apple. I'd say that's good news because now someone else is going to come along and, possibly be competition. Obviously, Apple's doing the right thing. With these numbers, I can't say they're doing the wrong thing. But I will say it's kind of a backhanded compliment. I'm still not happy with their quality control, their software. I think that they keep slipping in that department, and those numbers aren't going to seem as impressive to me as they might to everybody else. I think they're still missing the boat as far as quality control, quality assurance. I think they obviously have plenty of money to, enough resources to throw at the problems that many people are experiencing, and including the folder popping bug. The folder corner popping still exists. It's probably going to exist throughout the rest of iOS 8. I'm resolved to knowing that I'm going to deal with it. And hopefully iOS 9 is going to be a bug fix edition. I'm hoping for that in iOS 9. That's the only feature that I really want. Twitter has started rolling out group direct messaging and 30-second video capture and sharing. This is by way of their app, at least. I haven't seen an easy way of doing it any other way. I haven't been happy with the Twitter app really for a long time. Twitter's done a decent job at allowing people to connect with one another, but I think the usability of their app in general, it's lacking. It's not really great, especially if you have more than one Twitter account or manage more than one, or you use Twitter for the ways that it could be used for research and search. And there are other Twitter-based tools that I think do a better job, like TweetDeck. I like TweetDeck. TweetDeck, not TweakDeck. TweetDeck, I don't know, it may be a product name. If it is, I'm not talking about that product. But it's nice to see that Twitter is rolling out new features. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to take advantage of the group direct messaging as much. I think it's interesting for the 30-second video capture and sharing. I started to get into Snapchat again. Here we go. I'm going to Snapchat something right now. Everybody can watch. I've got a story, I guess. This is how kids do this. Pirillo Vlogs is the username that you can choose to follow. Okay, so I think I hold the camera up like this and say, hello, everybody. Oh, wait, did I screw that up? I think I screwed it up. Boy, I can't even Snapchat right. I think I'm too old to use Snapchat. So I hold the button down, And as I'm holding, no wait, did I do that right? Hang on. Oh, did I do? Okay, here we go. Wait, 3, 2. I'm Snapchatting live on YouTube, kind of in TLDR. Oh, look at that! Your name could be there too, and it would have been in a Snapchat. Yeah, okay, so I record the video, and then I press this arrow, I can add filters, and I'm not going to add filters, and then I add it to my story. That video I just recorded is available through Pirillo Vlogs on Snapchat. That's the username for it. There's no easier way of really sharing it. Plus, that video is only going to be alive for 24 hours, and then you don't get to see it again. So this is what the kids do these days. They make, instead of vlogs that are 10 minutes, they make stupid videos that are 7 seconds. So it's interesting to see Twitter go this route. I don't know where I'm going to find the value of a 30-second video on Twitter. It depends on how people use it or how they want to see it. We'll try it. It can't hurt. I suppose if I post a video to Instagram and then it gets posted to Facebook and then Vine, I might as well put it on Twitter as well. Although, again, you've got limitations across the board. You've got Twitter 30 seconds, Instagram 15 seconds. You've got Facebook, I think, is pretty much, I think it's without a ceiling. YouTube is usually without a ceiling. Vine, 7 seconds. So you've got limitations across the board, and I'd imagine that each particular medium has a different value. I think Snapchat, that must have been, felt like 10 seconds there. I don't know. Someone else could probably add up how many seconds that took, but either way, I remain impressed that Twitter moves forward with various features. Nothing that I would say is a game changer for Twitter that I think would pull people in. I think the onboarding process could be made better. That's my opinion. Of course, you're never going to hear me say the opposite. I think everything could always stand some amount of improvement when they roll out new features. I mentioned that we're producing the CPU videos in the Classic channel. I really am looking for your feedback. We're doing a variety of things with CPU and having fun with it. I'm curious to know what you think. I mean, it's really similar to what I've done in the past. It's a bit more, it's condensed, it's edited, it's fun, it's upbeat. I think it's very, 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 what does it say? Horizontal is not Snapchat friendly, really. Oh, apparently the horizontal video I just recorded sucked. So wait a minute. So everywhere else in the galaxy, you don't want to record vertical video, but on Snapchat, this completely different universe, you don't want to do horizontal video? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably what I sound like right now. In my day, we used to only have video recorded one way. That was it. None of this fancy configuration, all this stuff, swinging your arm around. You're going to stretch something out. FontStruct, by way of Twitter, that's not the name of the person. Louis Serrano sent me this link, fontstruct.com. It's a way to make fonts in your web browser that you can use. Kind of neat. I like the idea of making your own font. I was always fascinated with fonts. To me, anybody who can craft a font is an artist. And, it's a serious game. Constructing fonts. You want to do your own? You can, and I believe it's free. Fontstruct.com. Thank you, Louis Serrano, for letting me know about that link by way of Twitter. Hang on, I am too old. My font is too small. By way of Earl Green. Hey, Earl. A man in Taiwan, this was reported last week, died in an internet cafe after a 3-day gaming binge. Man, I could barely play a game for like 3 minutes, let alone 3 days. This is on the heels of John Prosser from Front Page Tech tweeting me this morning with a high score of 460 on Crossy Road or something like that. I couldn't even break through his previous high score, his record with Crossy Road. I just haven't had time to pick it up and play. So I yield to John. John, you are the Crossy Road champ. I hope to beat you one day. Until then, I'm happy to say you hold the crown between us. And I would definitely never want to lose my life to a video game. That's got to be a way to go. Man, I mean, I understand the addiction and the always wanting to play and to one up in a video game. But, take it in context. Is a video game really more important than anybody's life? I'd say no. Flat out no. Rarely would I ever think or could even think of a scenario where anything in a video game would be more important than someone's life, anybody's life. So take a break. Listen to me babble for a half hour or so every day. That'll put you to sleep. Or it'll, possibly get you or divert attention away from video games. Unless you're listening to me while you're playing video games, you could do that as well. I may be more informative and sometimes less repetitive than the soundtrack, for sure. Anyway, I am very sorry to hear that. I don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a video game. Again, by way of Earl Green, The world's first 3D printed apartment building has been constructed in China. Wow. I've seen videos and scenarios where there have been, proofs of concept of being able to take 3D printed materials, recycling these materials into 3D printed materials that could aid with certain types of construction, such that the buildings could be more secure. I mean, in terms of a structural sound point, where we could recycle materials. I think 3D printing is definitely not going away. It is something that we're just beginning to explore. I mean, not just with the health implications of it, but certainly with real-world applications. And it'll get to the point where, much like with technology, you look around you and you don't realize just how much technology can influence everybody and everything down the line, whether you're directly interacting with tech or not. And I think 3D printing is going to reach that same state, which is fantastic. I think that's the value of that kind of technology, and it's exciting. I don't know if I'd want to live in a Lego house, and yes, I've seen the Lego house video that was done years ago. I don't know if I'd necessarily feel safe inside a 3D printed house, but then again, it's fascinating to think that you could bring this type of technology to areas of the world that don't have safer materials to create safer environments for people who would otherwise not have a house. So fascinating technology. If you want to read more about it, the links, of course, will be in this description for this video and or podcast if you're listening to the podcast version of the show. By way of Earl Green, this is outlandish. The BlackBerry, the guy over at BlackBerry, and I'd assume there's more than one person there now. Not that there will be a lot of people left if BlackBerry keeps going the way it's going. The boss says that Apple should be made to make its messaging system, iMessage, available on other platforms, including BlackBerry, of course. But I disagree. I'm frustrated with the lack of ubiquitousness across messaging platforms, but I appreciate iMessage for what it is. I could appreciate BBM for what it is. And sometimes I don't want those two worlds to intersect. I don't have any one system that I use for communicating with people that I know, and I kind of compartmentalize how I use one system and how I use another. Google for this, Apple for that, Microsoft for this. It's all over the place, and I keep it that way for, intentionally, for good reason. So, I would disagree. I understand the validity of opening up the system like that, but I don't know if that's necessarily to anybody's advantage. Apple's certainly not stopping anybody from using any email they want. At all. You don't want to use iMessage? Don't use iMessage. I don't know what else to say. That's really all. That's all I can say about that situation. I think I think the guy's heart was in the right place. I think he meant well, but I just don't think I don't think that is very reasonable. It's kind of like expecting Apple's going to bundle another web browser in their OS. I'm like, people are probably going to install another web browser on their platform anyway, like they do on Windows. More often than not, although I think Project Spartan, which they may not stick with as a project name, is really only for Windows 10. The bottom line is that people do have a choice, and I think people in this day and age understand that they do have a choice. Certainly with messaging protocols. I think if anything, they're a little scared that fewer people are using BBM. BlackBerry is struggling to find relevance in today's market, and I understand that. I mean, I think we all kind of deal with those types of issues as time goes on, and you just got to move forward best you can. But I don't know if this is really, if it's got a very good foundation, if only for knowing how Apple does things and how I'd like Apple to do things and continue to do things. If anything, I'd say maybe they can work with Google and, they'd be happy going that direction. But I think they're going after Apple for a specific reason. Again, by way of patron Earl Green, scientists have uploaded a worm's mind to a Lego robot. It's just a matter of time before the singularity is here. Man, fascinating. All we got up here, electrical impulses. Imagine that we crack the code and suddenly we'll be able to live forever in an inanimate object. Inanimate, a non-organic object. Imagine if your consciousness could be placed within this device, or a device that didn't have anything physical. It was just light impulses, and you could live forever as light, and you didn't have a physical being. Oh, it's coming. It sounds like the stuff of dreams, but that's how it begins. And I'm not saying that the human main. I was trying to say brain and mind at the same time, and my brain screwed it up. Hello, irony. So, I think I'm not saying that the human brain is like a worm's brain. Although there are some humans out there that kind of have me wondering. We're a bit more complex, so it's just a matter of time. I really do. I think I really believe that it's a matter of time. Maybe not my lifetime, maybe not your lifetime, but I think it's just a matter of time. Along this bit of news, you love tech. There's a video game that has proved that telepathy is possible. Telepathy, thinking, over distance. I'm telling you, man, this sounds so bizarre talking about it right now, but imagine if I'm talking to your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother, and I'm saying, there's going to come a time when you'll be able to talk to someone on the other side of the world like they're sitting right there with you. They wouldn't be able to understand that concept at all. Imagine, talking about today's technology to 2 generations ago, like when they were young, when they were your age. It's fascinating to see where we're going, and that technology is moving the human condition forward. I just hope our human condition can keep pace and keep up with technology, as it is kind of outstripped our morality in so many ways. And I hope that situation gets reversed sooner rather than later. But telepathy is possible. Yeah, thinking a thought and then knowing it's Oh, man. Ah! We're talking about HoloLens coming out later this year. Touchscreen computers. If you told me I could touch a computer when I was a kid, I wouldn't have believed you. I'm like, really? What? Crazy talk. That's what this is. But it's science. Amazing. A couple other bits of news I wanted to cover before winding down and moving on to our patron hangout, and then reminding everybody that we have the family vloggers hangout and the Pirillo vlogs channel, which I hope you've subscribed to. Some good stuff. We pretty much publish at least 2 or 3 videos a day. Well, now 4 videos a day for everybody. Wow. And all the live videos, we're doing a lot for you. And we really appreciate the support that everybody's been giving. Steve, I do want to put this in there. Steve Channine, aka TechXero, he wanted me to mention this specifically, but his mother recently passed away. He just wanted us to mention that. And so, Steve, thank you for, number one, supporting the community. I'm not sure why you wanted me to say this, but I'm sorry that this has happened. I don't know everything about your family, your situation, but I can only imagine how difficult it might be. Just know that you're not the first person to go through this type of experience. And if you did need to speak with someone, there are likely people that you can speak with who are very qualified to talk about these situations and where you might be mentally. So just keep that in mind. I'm very, very sorry to hear that, as I'm sure everybody would be sorry to hear that. And if they're not sorry to hear that, they are not human, period. Steve, I am very, 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 very sorry. So our sympathies to you. The other 2 notes, 2 bits of news that I wanted to share. One at the tail end, because it's kind of a little more fun. There's an article that, again, was a fascinating read for me, talking about how tech is overtaking jewelry as the top gifts during the holiday season. People don't want to buy jewelry for each other anymore. Sorry, hun. Diamonds are, they're not for sale forever, apparently. More people want tech, which is, to me, is a little, I'm a little confused. Because technology is good for that period of time where it's useful, and then you get rid of it and you get new tech. But I guess that's what a lot of people want. Now, see, I'd go the opposite route. I'd want something to last, a long time. I see these as tools. These things are tools. They're a screwdriver. They're a hammer. They're an all-in-one tool here, or a tablet or a computer. But the trend is that a lot of these luxury brands, jewelry, they're taking a nosedive because a lot of these expensive devices are right there in the same price range. And if you ask someone, do you want something to sit there and look pretty, or do you want something that'll allow you to play Crossy Road? People might say, I want something to play Crossy Road. It's a tool. It's got a meaning. It's got a reason to exist. So I think that it's an interesting trend to watch. I was surprised by it, though. See, I would have guessed the opposite. But, it's competing. That's the thing. The more competition you have in the marketplace, well, money's got, it can't come from nowhere, unless, of course, you're the Federal Reserve. It can't come from nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere. And when you're competing for attention and money, when you got more choice, you got more choice. It's just like with content. You had a choice to watch something else or listen to somebody else over this period of time. You chose to listen to me, and thank you for that. Last bit of news I wanted to mention is a Scooby-Doo Lego set series is going to be released. Scooby-Doo, I mentioned it as a rumor a few months ago, and it's true. Scooby-Doo is coming to the Lego brick. Cannot wait. I liked Scooby-Doo when I was a kid. Wasn't a fan necessarily, but I did like Scooby-Doo. So I will be getting the sets and, of course, doing reviews in CPU for the Lego sets that I get because the Lego videos that I do tend to work well. The Lego videos I do overarchingly do just as well, if not better, than the tech videos I do. Just FYI. So, for anybody who might, only take one number and interpolate, you're not getting the big picture. So I enjoy the Lego stuff about as much as I enjoy the talking about the tech stuff, although I tend to talk about tech at a different level than most people do. And I'm fine with that. And hopefully you're fine with that as well, especially in the Geek Lifestyles channel, full of long-form content for you. I'm going to go ahead and wind down. Thanks again for your support. I love you. I appreciate you. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.